Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. Today I'm going to present a lesson from the first year English program, Sequence 2, Me and My Family. In this lesson, I'm going to teach two skills, reading and grammar. Of course, you can teach a grammar lesson after a reading lesson, or you can integrate a grammar lesson in a reading lesson. This way, you are going to contextualize your grammar item. Since we have many grammar lessons in the second sequence of the first year English program, so I didn't want to confuse my pupils. So I presented some grammar lessons, and then I presented the reading section. After that, I have integrated a grammar lesson in the reading lesson. Concerning the framework that I'm going to apply for my reading lesson is PDP. It means pre-reading, during reading, and post-reading. Even if I'm going to integrate a grammar lesson in the reading lesson, I always have to follow the framework. Then I'm going to integrate the grammar lesson smoothly. So the framework that I'm going to apply for my grammar lesson is PPU. So presentation, practice, and use. We move to the objective. By the end of this lesson, my pupils will be able to introduce themselves, to talk about their likes, their family, and jobs, using the right form of the verbs, the appropriate personal pronouns, and possessive adjectives. We start directly our lesson. In the warm-up phase, I'm going to play the game of Find the Lie. You can see the definition of this game in the video that I have posted recently. Then I move to pre-reading. Of course, before your pupils read, they have to get ready. So here, I'm going to make my pupils listen. So here I have integrated a listening skill as like a preparation for them. So I'm going to make my pupils listen to a script. Then I'm going to ask them to fill in the gaps. After that, I'm going to pin flashcards of jobs on the board, and they have already seen jobs. And I'm going to ask my pupils to identify the jobs mentioned in the script. For example, I'm going to mention fireman, doctor, nurse, a mechanic, architect, and they're going to listen to the script, and then they're going to tell me what are the jobs that are mentioned in the script. This way, I'm revising the jobs. Here is the script, and these are the words that I have omitted. So here, I'm revising family members and jobs. And of course, verb to be, and greeting for hi, and numbers. So I just tried to omit and remove the target words. It means the words that are going to serve my lesson. Of course, after this script, you're going to prepare your pupils. Of course, you have already prepared them using the script, but you're going to prepare them orally. Not stopping the audio and then moving to the activities of the reading phase or the text of the reading phase. So you're going to ask them, can you guess, my dear pupils, what are we going to read about? And I'm going to provide my pupils with the activities related to the text. Of course, you are going to start with the activities before the text, so that the pupils are going to have an idea about the text they're going to read. And then I'm going to distribute the text. Concerning the text, I have written my own text. I didn't use the text of the book. Now, if you want to work with the text of the book, you're really free. Then I'm going to ask my pupils to read the text silently. These steps are very important. I'm going to ask my pupils to read the text. I know that my pupils find difficulties in reading, and they are not able to read, and maybe some of them can read some words, but I'm going to make them try to read the text, to make efforts. Silently, they're going to have an idea about the text and recognize some words, some easy words, and then I'm going to choose a good pupil or an excellent pupil to read. Of course, I'm going to correct where necessary, and I'm going to read the text for them. I have to read the text for my first year pupils because it's like something very fair and really logical. And I'm going to ask my pupils to read them. Of course, not all of them, just 2 or 3. Believe me, when your pupils feel that they can read, even some words, even like 50% of the text, are going to be motivated to read. Believe me, pupils like reading. You just have to push them. And I'm going to ask my pupils to underline the difficult words, of course, and I'm going to explain the difficult words. And I'm going to ask explicit, simple questions about the text. For example, what is it about, who is talking, etc. Just very, very simple questions. The while reading phase is the phase where my pupils are going to be provided with the text and with the activities. So, once I finish, I'm going to ask my pupils to do the activities. The first activity, fill in the table. And then I'm going to move to the second activity where I ask my pupils to write true, false, or not mentioned. And here it's a new notion, not mentioned. And I'm going to explain to your pupils what does it mean, not mentioned. Then I'm going to move to the third activity. The objective of this activity is to enrich their vocabulary. Here they're going to match the words to their synonyms. Then I move to the fourth activity, answer the following questions. The first question is obvious. The second question, is John fan of basketball? Justify. This question, the answer of this question is going to serve my grammar lesson. How? Of course, I didn't want to ask my questions with the auxiliary do because they don't know it. So I prefer to introduce the form they have dealt with, which is yes or no question with verb to be in. And of course, introducing a new word, which is fun. Maybe they know this word. So I'm going just to explain the word. And I have added justify. So they're going to say no, like he doesn't like basketball. They're going to say no. And when I said justify, it means I want my pupils to give me the sentence from the text. And they're going to give me the sentence. I like football and swimming. Here, I'm going to erase I read and do. I'm going to leave the lesson title empty. And then I'm going to ask my pupils later to, of course, draw a line and write the next lesson, because it's going to be like 2 lessons in 1 lesson. And I write, I like football and swimming. And I'm going to ask my pupils question. I'm going to interact. Who is this I? It is a subject. Who is he? He is John. So I write I like, and then I write John likes. I'm going to write a big S, and I'm going to ask my pupils about the difference between I and John in the verb. And of course, I'm going to explain to my pupils, and I'm going to ask them questions. Can you give me another synonym of like? Yes, miss, it's love. So we say I love. John loves. I enjoy. John enjoys. And I'm going to introduce some other verbs, but just quickly, because my objective is to talk about likes and expressing likes. So I'm not going to be out of my objective. So I'm just going to make some drills. Okay, I like, John likes. I love, John loves. I enjoy, John enjoys. And then I'm going to ask them, can you tell me what is the personal pronoun that replaces John, and they may say he. Can you give me like another personal pronoun which like always goes with he? I'm going to say she and it, and of course don't insist on it, just, and I'm going to say that I or John or she or he are subjects, and like, eat, love, and enjoy are verbs. So you have to know how to interact with your pupils, because it's very important, because like during the interaction your pupils are going to understand. So you have to make it simple for them. And then I'm going to apply the framework of my grammar lesson. The framework of my grammar lesson, PPU. So of course the first P, we have the very first P, which is preparation. When I ask my question, is John fan of basketball, justify, here I'm preparing my pupils for this new grammar item. Then when I write the grammar item and the example on the board, I'm presenting the new item. When I write I in blue and like in red, I'm presenting the new item. So here they are going to analyze, to isolate, and they're going to deduce the rule. Then I'm going to move to practice. So in the practice phase, I have started with a form-based activity. Of course, you have to stick to the framework, even if it is integrated. The first activity, spot the mistakes, then correct them. Here, your pupils do not need to understand in order to do this activity, because they focus on the form. They see my friend, he loves English. So, and this is a very common mistake, because your pupils are going to, most pupils say my friend, he, my mother, she, because they compare English to Arabic. Like we say, al-um hiya, and it's a very common mistake which will be like highlighted. She like orange. There is a mistake here. We said she likes. My brother enjoys playing football. What about this enjoys? Do you write enjoys like that? No, I'm going to omit the S. So they focus on the form. And this is a form-based activity. Then I'm going to move to the second activity, which is going to be a meaning-based activity. So here I used the activity of the book, task 1, page 57. You can have a look at it. So it is like purely meaning-based activity, because your pupils have to understand in order to know what to circle. Then I'm going to move to the third activity. Here it's not really communicative, because I wanted to focus on the form, and it's very important to teach your pupils how to shift from an infinitive to a conjugated verb. Here you have to show them, I know that you have already showed them how to conjugate the verb to be, because they have already dealt with it in this first sequence, but you have to repeat at each time, because to be, it changes completely. So these ones don't really change. So here you're going to tell them that they have to omit the parentheses, that they have to omit to, and then you're going to see the subject. If it is I, you keep it as it is. If it is he, she, or it, or a subject which is mentioned and who replaces he or she, you are going to write, of course, you're going to add S. Then I'm going to move to the last part. In reading, the last part is post-reading. And in grammar, the last part is use. So I have combined the two phases in one phase. I'm going to ask my pupils to fill in a table containing information about themselves, and then they're going to write and introduce themselves on a blog or on their blog, telling their friends about themselves, their school, likes, family members, jobs, using of course the right form of the verbs. So here, through this activity, I'm going to achieve my objectives. Here is the table that you're going to present to your pupils. Here, you're going to help your pupils. Of course, they won't be able to write the paragraph on their own, and they're going to rely on the text. So you are going to guide your pupils. You are going to ask them to fill in this table, of course explaining each canon, and you're going to once they finish the table, you're going to ask them to give you examples so that the picture is going to be clear for somehow weak learners. For example, first name, what is the sentence, what do we say when we want to introduce our name, what about age, what about country, what about school. So you're going to, this way you're going to help weak learners and even good learners who are going to be lost. You know, it's like, as novice teachers, it's like really hard to integrate a skill within another skill. If you want, teach them separately. Okay, just present the reading lesson, then move to the grammar lesson. Or if you want to integrate it, and I prefer that you integrate it, and if you see that your pupils have understood, this means that you have achieved your objective, and this is like a very successful step for you. So while integrating the new item, do it smoothly. Like, don't say like, don't stop at the third activity of reading and then no, we stop this reading section, we move to grammar section, and then we're going to move back. No, don't say to your pupils, are you going to like shift from reading to grammar? Do it smoothly. Okay, so this is like my advice for you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful. If you agree or disagree with my like point of view or with my way of presenting the lessons, you just have to mention it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.